Hey, Crypto Hotep here with another trading video. I know it's been about 2 weeks or so since my last video. With my family and I were out of town, vacation, celebrating the 4th. So obviously those things come first. Glad to be back. And as always with these trading videos, nothing is financial advice. Before you choose to trade any type of crypto, any type of precious metal, stocks, options, whatever, consult a professional. And also, these videos are sponsored by the world's renowned broker Coinbase. As you are familiar, all of my crypto spot trades are done on Coinbase. Every week, every DCA I do every week into Chainlink or into Ethereum, it's all done with Coinbase. We even have the Coinbase card as well. And it's a great broker. I've been using them for over 4 years. And if you're saying, hey, Crypto Hotep, this Coinbase looks a little different than my Coinbase, and I do have a Coinbase account, you may want to go down here, lower left corner of your screen, or in the app under the settings, and click the advanced tab. You click this advanced tab, you will be greeted with this setup here and less fees. I think that's the most important thing. And you can still house your USDC here to gain over 5% APY on it as you look for those sniper entries. And as always, if you are using Coinbase or if you aren't, feel free to use my sign up link here. I will get 30% of your trading fees whenever you do make buys or trades. So you will be supporting me, supporting the channel as well. So with this video, we'll try to make this video short, but this video is going to be my thoughts on the market currently, as well as as well as me charting the crypto Gods Unchained. So why don't we do this first? Let's go ahead to the Gods Unchained token. This is also on Coinbase, so you can buy this on Coinbase as well. And this is like a gaming token. And I like to do these charting videos to help keep my process tight in terms of analyzing. And so, as always, I trade off the weekly. The weekly does take a slower time for price to develop, but it provides me more time to actually view and analyze without feeling rushed. So most of the time, my positions that I do hold are potentially for months, but the returns can be astronomical as well. So when I'm charting these and I'm looking for key levels, we stay on the weekly and we look for points where price has ranged or has catapulted from or bounced from. So this would be a good point. I would consider this support here. Here I would consider this support, or I should say resistance. I'm sorry, resistance here, support here. So that would be a decent enough area I would be looking at. Here we have support here, and then resistance here, and then support here. There's really no rhyme or reason with the width of my levels here, because I get that question a lot. It's more of I'm trying to encapsulate all of the data points that I can for that one area. Okay, so here, this would be an area, let's say, of support and resistance. Right here, that would be decent. And then right here, I'm going to bring this down a little bit. We'll bring this down a little bit right here. There. Okay, and then probably right here is good. And with that one, I think that should be enough. And you should see wicks through these. So you can see here, this wick, this area, this wick through this area. You can see the bounce here as well. So this is good. This is good enough for me right now. So if I'm analyzing this crypto, another thing I'm looking at is also where on the slow stochastic prices, and I'm usually marking that out with this circular tool here. So we have the slow stochastic, which is a indicator that signifies um, uh, selling levels and buying levels. So if they're oversold or overbought. So if price goes below the 20 area in the slow stochastic, then it is oversold, meaning that hopefully sellers are getting exhausted. And if it goes below above the 80, which is the red line here, then it means it's overbought, meaning that potentially sellers will be coming in to move price back down. So Gods Unchained is an altcoin. Most altcoins in the market right now are at oversold levels. This one is no exception as well. So I usually like to mark this out to showcase where price is currently. So it is way below oversold levels here. I usually like to go through and see what price has done when it's also at oversold levels, because just because it's at oversold levels doesn't mean it's a perfect time to buy, right? Sometimes price will do this where you get this level here and you'll see price here, but then it'll dip a little bit further one more time before the move up here. Okay, so price likes to do that. It likes to play those games here. So if I'm analyzing this, I see that we're at oversold levels. That piques my interest in terms of buying, but I'm not doing anything yet. I'm going to take my trend line tool out here and just draw a downtrend line here, because that's where that's kind of what my mind is telling me currently. So we have a downtrend line, we have oversold levels here, and then we also have price coming into a key weekly level, which is right here. Okay, so what I would expect is I would wait to see if we can have buyers get into this area. Now, this price action right now does not significantly move me into buying anything from Gods right now. So I don't want to purchase anything, and there's a couple reasons, and we can zoom in on this chart here. The main reason for me is you have strong buying pressure right here with the Heikinashi candlesticks, which is what these candlesticks are. These aren't regular candlesticks. These are Heikinashi candlesticks. As you guys know, I do trade that specifically. And you can, well, for your trading view, you can switch to Heikinashi by clicking on this right here. But one thing that I like with Heikinashi, it will tell you the story of the trend through the candlesticks. So with the candlesticks, with Heikinashi, if you have a multitude of candles, down or up, and if there's no wicks on either side, if there's only one wick on one side, so if it's a downtrend, if the wick is pointing down and there's no upper wick on the candlesticks, that's a strong trend down, meaning that the selling pressure is high, and you don't want to catch the quote-unquote falling knife on that, because price could just keep dipping here. Now, if we look at, let's take a look, scroll to the left here to show an example of a sell-off and then a bottom and then a reversal. So for instance, here we've had some sell-off. You could see some buying pressure here at a key level, but price continued to dip. And then we have no wicks on the candlesticks, but then you have this green doji candle. So if this was me, I wouldn't mind buying in this area here. I'm never going to get close enough to the, most precise bottom area. So I wouldn't mind buying in this area and just preparing myself that price would come down here, which it did, long wick down to gather all those stop orders up, and then only to push price eventually higher. So that's what I would be suspecting here for price to do. And then another thing I like to do is I like to draw out the lows currently that price could take. So one low that price took was this one right here. Okay. So that one price did take that low, and what's funny is price is currently on this candlestick below that low, which is fine. Now, one other thing I like to look at is the close of this candle. So again, you have to wait. The reason why I want to look at the close of this candle is because if you look at the time, you have 3 days and about 20 hours left in a weekly candle. Anything could happen, especially because you have CPI tomorrow as well. CPI, I'm expecting to be around 3.1, 3.2%, which is less than the previous CPI release, which could essentially be bullish for everything tomorrow. Again, that's potential. But the reason why we look at this and we wait is because at any point, this candlestick could transform into a green doji in no time, and now this would be your bottom, and potentially price could bounce here, break this downtrend, and move up. So we always like to wait first. Just because we see price trading currently below the low, this doesn't bother me. I would have to see a close below the low and then a preceding candle below this low. So I would have to see those two candles below the low and not just this one that price is currently trading at. Okay. But right now I wouldn't do anything here. I would just be waiting just to see what would happen or what is going to happen with price. But all in all, that's my strategy. It's been my strategy. It's very simplistic, very easy. And that's why I use the weekly time frame, because you can get decent amount of gains just by using the weekly chart and not feeling pressured. I mean, if you look here, if you potentially came here and bought around this area, you're looking at say around 55% gain. Say, for instance, if you would have caught this trade and you didn't sell until you noticed maybe this red candle here. So say, for instance, we're not going to catch the bottom. So say, for instance, we catch this price and we ride it here. Now you're looking at, and we'll say we've sold at this red candle, just to be realistic. We'll say about 160%, which is darn good for a trade. And so that's really how my trading has gone. It's very easy going. Yes, you have to hold trades. Yes, you may be down for a month in a trade, but it's very stress-free. So right now, nothing with Gods Unchained is looking like a buy for me right now. It's just a wait and see. I would also be looking at this low as well. I'm going to mark this low out here, and it looks like that was taken with that candle as well. So just something to keep in mind. And it's just going to be on my radar. So I'm going to mark this green as well, just to keep a close eye on that. So in terms of the market, we'll switch over to the market and my thoughts. So with the market, right now we're on total 3, which is just the altcoin market. Okay. So with the altcoin market here, again, we are nearing oversold levels. We're not there yet because we're not below the 20. We're not in this area. We're getting very close though. And last time we were this close, price, this was around July of last year, ironically, June, July of last year, where price popped up, bounced, and then we just kept going up. This was the start of that, just getting around this area. So we are at that same spot, which is very ironic. So history doesn't repeat itself, but it does rhyme. So we will see what's going on. Tomorrow will be very, very telling. That's what I'll see. As of right now, you'll see we haven't traded or started to trade below the low, because remember what I say, I got to see at least 2 candlesticks consecutively below the low, and we haven't. Have we broke it? Have we swept it? Yeah, we have, but there's no body of the candle below that low yet. So this price action I have, or this pattern here that I have, is still viable. We are still also in the golden zone, which is at 50, 61.8 if you use the fib levels as well for trading. So my thought process, I'm still bullish as of right now. Nothing is really telling me otherwise. Again, weekly chart, you get a more long-standing viewpoint. And I still, even when you zoom out, the chart doesn't look bearish at all to me as of right now. If you look at, we'll quickly look at BTC. Yeah, it does. It looks like the start of a McDonald's M, which we don't want to see. But again, not seeing any candlesticks below this low. I believe since the middle of June or so, I've said this low is where I'd be looking at. This is where my eyes are going. Anything below this, and I start to get nervous. As of right now, I don't see that. I just see us sweeping this low and hopefully breaking out and destroying the bears in their path. Let's look at Ethereum. Not really. Ethereum looks better than, to me, Ethereum looks better than BTC on the chart side. The only thing is we may have a little bit more spot to go down, potentially, maybe not, but we're still not at oversold levels for Ethereum, but we are at a key level weekly. We have just lightly swept this low, and I just don't see anything deterring my bullish viewpoints here. Okay, let's look back real quick. Let's see where BTC. Yeah, BTC is nearing the level of oversold, but not quite right now. I will say this, just a quick chart on the dollar, because the dollar is also inversely affected by the commodities and crypto. You see we have bearish divergence here on the dollar as well. So bearish divergence is upward price movement, but downward movement of the slow stochastic here. So it's basically the opposite. It's going in the opposite direction. And there's bearish and bullish divergence. Bullish divergence would be bullish price or bearish price going down, slow stochastic going up. So this is the opposite of that. I mean, this looks very promising, especially on the weekly. So again, the dollar's down, not by a lot, but it's a good start of a candle for this bearish divergence. So we'll see if this can break this low here, right here. So all in all, nothing's really changed. There's been a lot of liquidity games going on in the markets. A lot of like ping pong, just choppiness with price action. And I'm so glad I don't trade that. And I just trade the longer time frames. So, but as always, guys, I hope this video is helpful. Feel free to like, subscribe, comment. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you want me to chart. And as always, thank you and happy trading, guys.